Hello and welcome everyone back to the Gathering Crypto video. I hope you guys are doing well, and today we are back with another banger PulseChain video. It's been a minute since I haven't done a video. Life got a little bit busy, but I'm back covering the latest and greatest of crypto and PulseChain news. So if you have been busy as well, this video is a great summary, and also I'm going to be adding my thoughts in general, what I think, which position are we in the market, or which phase are we in, when do I think the next leg will happen, and how many X's will that be. Thank you very much guys for tuning in. I read all your comments. Please guys, in that meantime, I'm still on a daily basis, I'm in that farmers community. So even if I don't make a video but you have a question and you want me to answer, be part of the community, especially at these times where it's high max depression, high FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt are roaming around. You might act emotionally. So sometimes when you share your thoughts, in general, it helps you keep your head at level, so it stops you from potentially realizing your losses. Okay, you need to really understand it. Do not follow the herd behavior, which is of course, because looking at the chart, guys, it's effectively called emotional trading. Another way of saying fundamental analysis is emotional analysis. So there is that as well. Starting off with some crypto news, one of the reasons, kind of the macro side of things, why is in general crypto and the stock market down heavily. One of the contributors is potentially to do with the United States tariffs that are being introduced. You can see here now, under the proposed plan, the US would impose the following tariffs in response to rates currently charged to American goods: China 34%, European Union 20%, Vietnam, Taiwan, Japan, India, South Korea, Thailand, Switzerland, Indonesia, Malaysia, Cambodia. Trump, they do it to us, we do it to them. So it does seem like we are entering the trade war, but is it really going to affect the crypto bull run? I don't think it will. It might impede it, but it definitely won't, because we've seen what happened in the previous bull run, where we literally had a global pandemic, but Bitcoin still flourished. It still reached very high, very close to 100K, but it didn't. That's probably due to the other factors, such as Bitcoin being banned in China, and a bunch of other things, like the start of the Ukraine and Russia conflict. So there is that. You could say that did stunt it, but nonetheless we did have a successful bull run in the previous post-Bitcoin halving year as well. We're going to see an end of the quantitative tightening and more towards the easing. I do predict in the next FOMC meetings to see more rate cuts and potentially more inflation, in terms of printing their way out of problems. Inflation and the strength of the US dollar are heavily correlated with how well the current market is doing, because of course this also means that there's more money in circulation. This also means that if the dollar is weaker, people are most likely borrowing more, because obviously the decreased interest rates, and because of the fact that they're trying now to leverage the buying power is something elsewhere. Could be in a stock market, buying real estate, and of course they're investing in crypto and Bitcoin and possibly even gold. It really just depends on that risk curve. So keep an eye on those. There's a lot of macro things to keep an eye on, such as other things that I've been looking at, which is obviously number one, commenting on the ETH BTC ratio falling even further. Okay, and it is obviously very, very scary. A lot of people are doubting Ethereum, guys. Okay, they're saying, is this the end? But I just want to say, at these times, you don't need to necessarily look at the chart. Yes, I understand. As long as you're not leveraging, as long as you're not borrowing, time shouldn't be a factor. And hopefully for a lot of people here, they haven't invested a lot where they need that money to pay bills. Hopefully, you have enough invested where you can sleep at night, where you don't have a time factor. Okay, so hopefully you have a cash flow elsewhere. But please understand that Ethereum is not going to go anywhere. Guys, Ethereum is what changed the game for what it is. It has introduced a platform with the whole smart contract introduction that literally then led to the greatest DeFi asset to date. Okay, nothing has really topped it, if you think about it, which is what? Stable coins. So we have to actually give Ethereum some respect. Yes, I understand the price of it right now doesn't really show that people respect it, but the smart people, guys, follow the whales, swim with the whales, as they say, or follow the information, not the crowd. Okay, if you're going to wait to buy Ethereum until the green candles happen, until the charts update, you're going to be too late, my friends. Okay, this is kind of the retail or the herd behavior that you should not fall under, which 95% of people fall under. Traders and investors, they fall under this. So what we need to do is look at the smart money. Okay, what is BlackRock doing? What is Liberty Finance doing? What are other whales doing? They're accumulating Ethereum at these lows. I think BlackRock probably increases Ethereum position by 300%. Okay, you can go look that up. But, so I'm just saying, follow the smart money. Don't follow the crowd. Don't wait until the green candles happen, guys. Okay, but we're going to move forward to another macroeconomic here that I've been really eyeing on, and you guys probably from my previous videos I mentioned this a lot, which is the Bitcoin versus the M2 money supply, which is basically accumulated M1 and M2, which is the liquid and non-liquid money assets, really. And I think it's counting like 80 plus economies and then putting it into kind of an index, and M2 money supply index. And then now we have this chart, we're comparing it against Bitcoin because it does seem heavily correlated with a 75. This is what I put it on, 75 delay. Some people put it on 115-day delay. I like to keep it 75 because I want to catch the trend reversals early. So I do feel like we're at an important intersection point, guys, where I generally feel like, guys, we're going to see a reversal, a rally up, back up to 100k Bitcoin, and hopefully above 115k. Now, is that going to be the top of Bitcoin? I don't think so. I think the top of Bitcoin is going to be more likely around that 160, 150, obviously, just to make sure that you secure profits on the way up. Secure profits. You guys already know my saying, DCA on your way in, DCA on your way out. I hope you guys took some profits in the previous kind of mini altcoin season that we had in the previous 2024 Pump October, which I'm going to show you guys a clip in a second. And if you haven't secured as much profits, don't worry, we're kind of all in the same boat here, because I still believe in PulseChain very, very long term. I have bags that I'm going to hold for more bull runs to come. For example, PWBTC and PulseX, and of course Hex and EHEX, INC, the liquid gold. You guys already know, man. I believe in the Core 7 so much. I'm here. I'm PulseChain for life, guys. Okay, and I've seen some comments. Some people say, you know, Kad, you haven't made a video. Does that mean you're losing trust in Bitcoin, in PulseChain? Absolutely not. What am I here for, guys? To make a leverage of Ethereum, which is a leverage of Bitcoin, which is a leverage of the stock market like S&P 500, which is a leverage of, you know, the buying power behind the US dollar index. Come on now, you know, altcoin seasons. This is where you make the most money out of. You have 1 year where you get that chance, because altcoins, they pump 1 out of 4 years. Bitcoin, they pump 3 out of 4 years. I'll just quickly show you what I mean by this. So if we change this to the, I'm just going to make it to the 12-month chart, reset the chart here, and then you can see this is in the previous, and I believe these 3 lines are my Bitcoin halvings. And then, yeah, you can see that we had 3 3 down year candles. What am I can't even speak. Obviously excluding the one that we're in, because we are still not even halfway through 2025. So I do believe that we will have a nice little green candle. So yeah, just be patient. So moving on to other topics here, we have a tweet here saying Solana whales just dumped 50 million worth of Solana. Ethereum whales bought 300 million worth of ETH over the past 24 hours. Pick your side, but ETH is going to 17k. Whoa, that's huge. Okay, that is huge. I'm just going to say this because my personal targets for Ethereum, I would say first milestone, 7,000, which I think is kind of like a walk in the park. Second milestone is 10k, but that's where I'm going to start really taking profits. The second milestone is probably like 12 plus, but that's really aspirational. So please be careful. Don't wait until you see that number. Don't be fixated on a number. Be more fixated on conditions, okay? Look at things like, okay, what is the Bitcoin dominance? which is why, by the way, a lot of people think, oh, what if that was the altcoin season that we've seen in 2024? No, it was not, because the Bitcoin dominance didn't do its fall and down to 40%. We have only seen a mini dump here, which is probably kind of a shakeout, really. Well, now we are in that shakeout, actually, but we haven't seen it fall all the way down here or anywhere near close to that. So no, if you feel like there was a lot of gains that were made in the two mini altcoin seasons in 2024, in the pre Bitcoin halving pump and the pump October pump, you'll be surprised, because that's not even prime time alt season, guys. It is not. You have no idea what's yet to come. So stay believing, because remember, this is a believers only bull run. So remember, the longer you hold your bags, the less the odds of making a loss as well. And just in general, we are in a believers only bull run. So there is that, really. Moving on to the next tweet here is from Watch Guru saying, just in, JP Morgan says the Fed may have to cut interest rates before the next meeting. So again, this is really good news. This is what we want to know. It encourages people, like organizations, businesses, retail investors, whatever, to borrow more, obviously to consume, or what, to invest. This is good. Both behaviors is what we want. So really, really good news here. And another piece of news, Federal Reserve announced its closed board meeting for today. We'll see if that even happens. I'm not 100% sure. But there's that. Looking, are they going to do an emergency interest rate cut? We'll see. I think it's inevitable either way. If it happens now or later, it's bullish. And here's a tweet from Michael Saylor. Oh, this is not. Is it the real Michael Saylor? Hold on. It is. Why am I not following him? No, it is satire. Oh, no, that's a satire. Hold on, okay. I was going to say, he's making the meme quote here, "We're tired of winning, Mr. President." So it is a parody account. But it is funny, because a huge amount have been liquidated. And just to remind people, please be careful from, just leveraging, okay? Because just you guys know, that's public information. They will hunt you. So if they really want to take you out, guys, they can. I'm telling you, the markets are actually more manipulated than before, unfortunately, because we have governments that have Bitcoin, that are buying and selling. You just never know what happens in those centralized exchanges with these order books. You really just never know. That's why I like to keep it on the decentralized exchange. It's like, I trust AMMs, right? These are my type of oracles, really. So please be careful, guys. Do not leverage. Please. Okay, now moving on to some of my tweets here, and this is what I mean by the next leg. All right, this is also, you can see the fear and greed index. This is a nice little index for you to realize, okay, if it's greedy, you should be fearful. And if it's fearful, you should be greedy, which is, these are the sections. So this is kind of when I started making PulseChain videos back in 2023, kind of towards the winter, not winter really, actually. I started around end of the summer, really, autumn time. And I've experienced the nice little pump that happened in the pre-halving, where Solana kind of led the alt season, where it was, with the pump fun casino and a bunch of other things with celebrities and stuff, launching a whole bunch of things. That was a nice little 20 to 40x in general, like as an average. Obviously there was hundreds of x's that happened, thousands of x's really that happened. PWBTC, PDAI, Atropa, Teddy Bear all did really well. Even INC did like a 20x from, 39 cents to almost $10. So that was really great. And obviously now we're in that summer, it was really dead for crypto in general, and for PulseChain as well. Like, it was 4 million daily volume, and I was there, and it was crazy. It was tough. A lot of people were losing like hope, in everything, really. But remember, that was another buying opportunity for a lot of people. And then what we've guys already seen this, where literally like stuff like PDAI and PWC did a banging like 25x in like 20 days. It's so crazy. It's like 1x a day, basically. Like it went from 1 cent to 3 cents in a span of 2 days. Like, it's that easy. When you start the positive feedback loop, guys, it's crazy how the momentum just keeps on going. So I'm really excited to see what's going to be the next leg up, especially the fact that PulseX because of the fact that it's been hit with, the inflation rate cuts that Richard Hart did, 0.03, when back then it used to be 1 INC per second, basically disincentivizing people from holding, from putting liquidity in the farms, drastically reducing it from where we were back in let's say here, 500 million in TVL, guys, in liquidity, all the way down to 40 something million, for 15 million right now. Okay, do you know what that means? That means we're gonna pump, our next pump, guys, is gonna take us even crazier heights, because now imagine with the same amount of demand, let's say, from the previous pumps, we're actually going to go even higher due to the fact that liquidity is basically a weight factor. The less liquidity there is, the more volatile we will be with the same amount of capital. Okay, so yes, it does go both ways, because unfortunately we've created new all-time lows for now. But do remember, once we go back up higher, it's going to be easier to reach those heights. Okay, that also means we can now have even higher expectations. But for now, I'm keeping it 20 to 40x. I just have to say it generally, but just prepare to be surprised. And so right now we are in maximum fear, extreme fear, which is maximum opportunity. So have that fixed mindset, rewire your brain. Don't try to be like, okay, is everyone bullish on PulseChain now? Should I buy now? You know what I mean? Like, no, try to be contrarian to whatever everyone else is saying. So, I just wanted to make this tweet kind of positive here. If you're still in PulseChain, if you're still holding right now, you are winning. Okay, you are winning, guys. I understand if people who got into PulseChain at that pump right here, that's fine. Okay, that is fine, because you're here right now. You have chances. You literally have a chance to to DCA. Obviously, this is not financial advice, but I'm just saying, looking at the prices now, you have chances to accumulate your positions that you believe in. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be the stuff that I talk about in general. It doesn't even have to be in this chain. You can apply this principle everywhere else, really. Whatever you believe in, you have chances to accumulate, increase those positions. Where now you don't need a 1000x to make, crazy life-changing gains. You're accumulating at these cheap prices, where all of a sudden, you need 100x, 50x. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, guys, keep it nice and simple. Have a handful or a dozen of tokens that you really believe, and stick to it. Trust me, pays off. I've seen this with Atropa, PDAI, PTGC, PWBTC. Like, it's crazy stuff, and I still believe in them. Okay, now I cannot suggest anyone to obviously buy it, because I'm not a financial advisor, but at the same time, just because of the fact that Richard Hart has stated that PDAI has an exploit. Okay, now do I believe it's an exploit? No, it's not. It's not unlimited minting from PDAI. We already know that it's coming out from the VAT, which is from the pre-existing vaults, either that came with a fork or post-fork vaults, and effectively it's kind of like an arbitrage process, really. And I still have questions, obviously, like, we're always going to have questions. At the end of the day, this is crypto. We'll never have all our questions answered. If you're going to wait until all your questions are answered, guys, it's going to just be too late, right? It's basically like saying, okay, if if everything is answered, PDAI is going to be at like 90 cents, for example. 90 cents or zero. You know what I mean? Like, this is the risk that we're in right now. This is the crypto game, really. So you have to do your due diligence, and you have to segment your risks. Don't go all into one thing. You're going to overexpose yourself. You can, protect yourself from ecosystem level risk by looking at the Core 7, for example. You have PulseX, INC, Hex, EHEX. Okay, PWBTC, let's say, for example, PWBTC and PDAI, they're bonded together. So if you're in one, you're basically as if you're in both. Same thing with Atropa, really. The top liquidity in all of PulseChain right now is Atropa and PDAI. So if you're in one, that's good enough, really, to be in that ecosystem. Now, to be fair with you, I'm actually holding multiple tokens within that ecosystem, but at the same time, I've also have bags in, for example, PTGC, UFO, because, right now they're slightly separate things now, especially that they de-risked by reducing their PDAI LPs, which is totally understandable. Even though I still believe in PDAI, of course I get that as a business decision. They just cannot risk it it's just better for them to stick to the cores, the blue chips of PulseChain, just in case, so it's totally fine. So, I just want to say, guys, if people disagree with your thoughts about whatever it is, whatever, if it's bullish or not, just remember that PulseChain, we represent freedom of speech. So everyone is entitled to have their own opinion. But once people start getting hostile and toxic and calling everyone, oh, you're retarded for thinking this or that, now that's where I start to cringe. Because isn't the whole principle of PulseChain, which, by the way, we are literally a contrarian chain, right? But now when you have people within PulseChain having that same contrarian play, people start calling you retard and stuff. It's like, okay, now, just because we're not holding bags that you're not holding doesn't mean that, we're wrong. At the end of the day, we're never really gonna know if we're wrong or right. At the end of the day, actually, it depends on what timeline you're speaking. Oh, actually, PDAI, from here to there, it did a 10,000x. So who was really wrong? Did PulseX do that? Did PulseX do a 10,000x? Do you know what I mean? Like, it really just depends. And I actually don't really like to kind of debate with people. Like, I joined some spaces here and there just to kind of say my thoughts, really, just to give people thoughts about Somi. I feel like Somi right now, he is a net positive. He's always been. But people obviously disagree with what he talks about with PDAI and stuff. Like, let the man do what he wants, man. He believes in something. Okay? People saying like, oh, don't talk about PDAI. Then what do you want him to talk about? Something that he's not holding? Isn't that going to be isn't that going to be disingenuous? It doesn't make sense to me, guys. Like, I'm staying true to myself and to you guys by saying I still believe in the same 4 things, the 4 horsemen, right? Remember the OGs, the viewers, you guys, the OGs, like back in December 2023, the 4 horsemen, PDAI, PWC, Teddy Bear, Atropa. I still believe in all of them. And of course, I was so lucky with talking about EHEX at that lowest low, which, by the way, I think we're basically retraced back to those prices. I believe in EHEX. But fun fact, Richard Hart killed EHEX with a lot of tweets. Kind of similar to what you're seeing with PDAI, by the way. He killed EHEX back in March, like this time, roughly this time last year. He made tons of tweets, guys, saying the market has chosen, saying like, oh, Ethereum was made, so people move on from Ethereum Classic, Bitcoin is made, so people move on from Bitcoin Cash. And then he literally mentioned Hex, like, oh, PHEX was made, so let's move on from EHEX. You know what I mean? It caused a huge dump, guys. But look what it then did after that dump. It did a 10x. Okay, so I'm just going to let you guys know, like, okay, even when Richard Hart kills something, let the chart never lies. So we'll see. Time will tell. It really is exciting stuff that's going on here. So carry on believing, guys. Carry on believing. There's another tweet here that I did. Well, actually, before we do that, I just want to finish reading this because this is really good advice. Follow the information, not people. Don't wait until the charts update waiting for the green candles. I already spoke about this. Remember, the bags that feel terrible to hold end up being the greatest gains. Getting the greatest gains. That's it. The road to heaven feels like hell. Crypto isn't an easy game. PulseChain's next leg up will bring 20 to 40x gains, possibly even more due to the anti-inflation cut that I said drastically lowered the chain's liquidity. What we're witnessing is nothing new. With every leg up, motive fades, a correction is due. We've seen too many altcoin season waves in 2024. Will you be patient until we reach the next greed phase? Simple. I just laid it a very simple formula for you. You buy, okay, after you're doing your research, speak to your financial advisor, I don't know. But for example, I buy now and I just wait until the fear and greed index is at greed. Simple. That's actually one way of like breaking it all down. Obviously, I have way more other indicators that, by the way, all the YouTube members know about because I uploaded a series there. I think right now it's part 5 to the series, which big shout out to the YouTube members who are choosing to support me. And the latest to the series was 95% fail at this, the pitfalls that you need to watch out for. Basically, it's a series about talking about the psychology of the market cycle. It's a little bit advanced, so if you don't know much about crypto, I don't really suggest you go into this. This is very heavy in the macroeconomics and microeconomics, fundamental analysis, and technical analysis with sentimental analysis. So basically all types of analysis. So yeah, there's that. But thank you very much, guys, for watching, by the way. Now, going to one of Richard Hart's latest tweets here that I just wanted to read, because, by the way, Richard Hart is an amazing founder. I'm so glad he's the right person to have found PulseChain. I watched all his like live streams, and I'm gonna go back to watching them again. I like watching the debates because he really, like, from a standpoint, even though he doesn't like Bitcoin, he can change his perspective and be like, okay, you know what, this guy likes gold. I'm gonna put my hat as if I'm a Bitcoin Maxi. I'm gonna explain why Bitcoin is still better than gold. But he can then change his perspective and be like, okay, why Ethereum is better than Bitcoin, and then, okay, why PulseChain is better than Ethereum. Like, this guy is so smart, and he used to be a Bitcoin Maxi, right? And then he used to be an Ethereum Maxi until he realized, hold on, we need PulseChain. That's way cheaper than Ethereum, like a leverage of Ethereum, not hedge, but a leverage of Ethereum, because of how expensive the fees were for EHEX. Something to do with the S load lookup, etc. That happened with one of its upgrades back in, I don't know, way back then. I forgot the name of the upgrade. But yeah, this is, it's so crazy, like how Richard Hart, guys, he started mining Bitcoin from his laptop, mining actual full blocks from his laptop. He bought Bitcoin back when it was half a dollar, probably even less, $0.50, guys. Like, he's a self-made billionaire. He's not doing this for money. He's doing this for glory. He literally doesn't need to make money off of this. And I just want to say, like, one of his greatest achievements is probably people like you and I, the community. I kid you not. The community is probably the most things that he's most proud of. Now, hopefully we'll see him stream soon. I think he's still obviously wanted by the Interpol, so, don't expect it anytime soon. But, I have so much respect for Richard Hart, the guy that wanted to make the world a better place. And it starts with, he says, I want to make the world a better place. And it starts with being the change that I want to see. And that's actually one of the mottos that I go by, right? This is why, by the way, with my course, the Crypto DeFi Security Guide, I put a code which anyone can use now. If you use code PDAI, it gives you 100% off. So you can learn and leverage off of my thousands of hours of research and trials and errors and expensive lessons to learn about OPSEC, operational security. Really understand what it is to be safe and traverse the world of DeFi and crypto in a safe way, especially if your bags are over $1,000 worth of tokens and assets. Okay, so there's that. Use code PDAI and it gives you 100% off. I do request you guys to leave ratings at least, and let me know, like, constructive feedback. If you really liked it, if you learned something new, let it put it down in the ratings so I can use this in the future, obviously, to help other people. I want to put anecdotes, and so read more about the course if you think it's for you. I think either way, this is good for everyone, not just for new people. This is good for people who are already millionaires within crypto, because let me tell you, complacency is one of the biggest risks when it comes to this. Okay, always be learning. Never stop learning, especially about cybersecurity. It's forever evolving, guys. There's new ways every year. There's new ways. They get more and more clever in their ways. So please protect yourself. I even cover the different settings they need to change in Telegram. I even cover how you can actually encrypt your files with AES-256-bit encryption algorithm, which is one of the latest. It is the latest, industry standard for security. So, check that course link in the description. You can get it for 100% free. So really is that. It's 1.5 hours, six video series. Simple as that. But anyways, we're going to go back to it here. What was I saying? The end of the tweet. I'm going to that's basically it. Moving on here to the next tweet. I made a review on the new Mati token. I just want to see how long the video is. It's 34 minutes. I'm going to carry on for a little bit. But yeah, this is Mati's token that just launched, by the way. So it's right here. No, right. I think I put it. Yeah, there you go, PDAI. And he called it Good Die. Okay, or Good Day. I don't know. And then this is the launch. This is the chart. And it's already at $1. You know, it's kind of anticlimactic. Is it is it already pegged? It doesn't look like it here, but I will basically break down everything that you need to know about the Maxi token. No, the PDAI holders did not get an airdrop, because at the beginning that's what I thought their plan was. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna receive something, right? But no, he changed it and he started a sacrifice phase. Yeah, guys, you're gonna want to read this, or you're gonna want to listen to this. So this is my review. Okay, initially the token was supposed to be airdropped to all PDAI holders, which is what I just said. But then a sacrifice phase was initiated, resulting in 500k plus sacrificed to the OA. He calls it the OA, but we know, you know, who the sacrifice went to. Just gonna keep it like very, very obvious. Okay, don't call it the OA. He's trying to be like a Richard Hart, which is fair enough. But anyways, I guess, but guys, please, whoever sacrificed, man, really take that into account, that you sacrificed. So that money has no expectations, okay, to work for you. Let me just say that. But at the same time, yes, he's doing it Richard Hart's way. He's still not Richard Hart. Okay, no hate to Matty. Like, this is no hate to Matty. I love the things that he does with the conference, with the networking, sharing the word about PulseChain. But I genuinely do believe he needs to not stick away, or stick to everything else other than launching tokens, man. That's not your thing. I feel like he's not good at launching tokens. His other Maxi token, he added liquidity, but it's still at $500 on the, or probably like $250 on the buy side and the bid side, which is crazy. But it gets even crazier with this. It gets even crazier. Okay, so remember that figure, 500k. All right, so here's a token address. Where do we go from here? Let's read on. So the token itself, okay, it's a regular PRC20. So this has no mechanics that it will actually, peg at $1 and act like a stablecoin. So let's get that out of the way. Okay, it's nothing like actual PDAI, classic PDAI. It's nothing like that. The token is called Good Die, launched using Gold Pulse. So he just used Gold Pulse as minter, which is fair enough, by the way. That's good, because it does eliminate the ownership issues and whatever other could be suspicious functions. So yeah, there is an internal mint function, but obviously that's only called literally just to mint the tokens, which you need to do that at the beginning when the contract is called. And then yeah, quite simple as that, really. He passed in the supply, which is 55 billion, and the name, and that's it. Like, it's a very simple contract. But here's my number one issue, and guys, you need to know this. Okay, number one, supply is 55 billion, but there's only one liquidity pool, which is fair enough. But it was created with PulseX, right? The initial LP was paired with 169,369 PDAI, right? Out of 55 billion of the supply. So it has 55 billion, and he only paired 169,000 PDAI to the supply. That's a whopping, guys, you can't even put it into percentage. I can't even say that. 0.00003% of the supply is paired, guys. So who didn't get an airdrop, you're getting extremely diluted shares. Is not even funny, bro. Like, it's actually not even funny. It's worse than like Solana's VC. Worse. Literally worse. And it was paired with 309 million PulseX, which is worth 5.6k. Guys, 5.6k, which is 1% of the sacrificed money was put into the LP then, because that's 5.6 on the bid side. So yes, right now it's at 65k total liquidity, which is around 32k on the bid side, because of course it goes up because people buy the pools, right? It appreciated in price from buy pressure, but it actually started right at the low price here, 3 cents with 5k. So I do feel like the fact that he did that ratio, it made it a little bit anticlimactic, man. Because doing a 32x with a 5k in liquidity, it's not really that much of like a suspenseful, like, oh my god, is it gonna go to $1? It's already at $1. Like, you know what I mean? With psychological, I feel like he could have done more game theory there. And for sure, man, like, come on, pair more PDAI to there. Like, guys, I'm staying away from this. I'm not even touching this at all. Like, I'm staying away. Like 29,000. Are you kidding me, bro? 29,000 PDAI in the LP. Are you kidding me? You best hope that people who got airdropped are some friendly whales, guys. I just want to say, like, I don't want to FUD anymore. I hope this is not FUD. I'm just stating the facts at this point. Okay, so yeah, the LP is worth 70k, but to put it in perspective, it's only 1%. There's only 27,000 PDAI to be bought. If you didn't receive the airdrop, you're only getting diluted shares. And then you just hear my final thoughts. I just said it feels like a little bit anticlimactic to choose this LP ratio because the token already hit $1 milestone, a 32x to $1 with a token that has initial buy side liquidity of 5.6 isn't that suspenseful. And then, you know, I asked people what are their thoughts, and people spoke about it. But, you know, what are your thoughts? Comment down below. You know that my thoughts, I'm not really going to touch it. Okay, nothing's going to come close. I would rather literally hold my moon bag, which either way I'm already doing for PDAI. Yeah, let's just move on, guys. Okay, let's just move on. But yeah, this is the tweet from Richard Hart that we're going to talk about. Here it says, Bitcoin, who is it to blame for the low prices? You, the sellers, present and past. The governments for dumping billions of Bitcoin, I'm going to assume. Germany, which by the way took an L because they sold their billion, I think it was a couple or a handful of billions of Bitcoin at 50k when they could have made way more. And then USA, which holds around, I don't know, 190 right now. It used to be 200,000+ Bitcoin, but they're accumulating obviously, like with Liberty Finance, but that's separate, right? It's separate with, but they did already announce the, you know, the whole executive signing of the Bitcoin reserve, which is really great news, by the way. Long term, this is really great news. And they're going to try to use Bitcoin to probably pay off one of the 36 trillion that they're in debt at this point, because their GDP is not even running the rate of debt. I think it's that on an annual, like a realized increased debt is around 132%. So like it's tough. The GDP is not even covering for the more incurred debt, which is kind of scary for a stable for a currency, for a fiat currency. But hey, at the end of the day, if they're in trouble, they're just gonna print their money, print their way out of trouble. The hackers and exploiters, and those who got hacked, the forced sellers who thought borrowing wasn't selling, those sitting in stables instead of real coins, fan of proof of work that gave billions to power companies. That's very true. Billions wasted in brand advertising on stadiums and sports teams that never even generate a click. It's funny he says this because he did sponsor one of the NASCAR that has Hex on it. But hey, and the regulatory agencies that for a decade spread fear and confusion about a simple public immutable ledger. And the billion in legal fees dealt to the industry, as reported from some association whose name I can't remember. And the bankruptcies from all the companies you idiots gave your money and coins to. So I think here he's talking about FTX, because one of the recent Solana token unlocks went to FTX. Now I'm not sure if they dumped it and stuff. It was kind of like token unlocks, but you know, that's why Solana really is bearish right now. But I still hope obviously it's going to recover a little bit for this upcoming altcoin season in general, but nothing I'm more bullish on really than PulseChain and Ethereum. I do have bags in Ethereum. I do have bags in Solana for sure. Those are my three main ones. And I have some in Sonic, some in Base Chain, but I really, you know, I'm not really putting my focus on Sonic and Base Chain. Do you know what I mean? Like I need to focus on a few things. I really, you know, I want to maximize opportunity in three. I think that's in one blockchain is actually more than enough. Like 95% of my portfolio is in PulseChain. Don't get that mistaken. And it is truly a leverage of Ethereum. So there is that. You actually don't need to even participate in Ethereum. But either way, obviously Ethereum is the land of whales. So you can get the best of both worlds, really. You can, you know, improve your knowledge and adapt to different times, because at certain times Ethereum could be a money maker, PulseChain could be a money maker. I know for a fact there's a delay. So if Ethereum goes up, you can't expect PulseChain to go up directly. Sometimes there's a delay. So, you know, there's a little bit of laws of, not physics, but laws of altcoins. you know. So yeah, there's that. And the bankruptcies from the companies you idiots gave your money and coins to, and the 1+ billion that went to lawyer fees there. Lol. All of this adds up to more supply in the market, which makes lower prices. These are mostly supply side things. And then there's the demand side. You have no call center, you do no outbound calling, you do no email, and do no physical mail. You have no ads anywhere. Why would anyone buy? They've never heard of you. Reduce supply, reduce inflation, reduce costs, which, by the way, this is what PulseChain and PulseX does already, by the way. So this is why it's super bullish. Reduce costs, increase demand, compete and win. You really have world-changing technology, and when it stops going down, it tends to go up the hardest. Okay, kind of the opposite of how stock markets behave, by the way, where yes, it does with the stock market, actually at the tops it's more rounded, but it's the spikes that happens at the troughs. Do you know what I mean? But with the crypto, it's actually, it rounds at the bottom and it spikes at the top. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's actually pretty cool. It tends to be, because it's just, one's more volatile than the other. It tends to go up the hardest. Ethereum, stop building and start marketing. What you've got is already far, far better than it needs to be. And you're already incurring technical debt for no reason with half the things that you're pushing that no end user actually wants, like making everyone use L2s instead of L1. Dumb. And finally, if the game is what is going to get back up the hardest, I think PulseX, PulseChain Hex are pretty cool. Or maybe something pumped up tires will garner attraction outside the community. So, fair enough. He spoke about PulseX, PulseChain Hex. It's good. This is our founder. So at the end of the day, we want him to also talk about us. And he mentioned pumped up tires. So fair enough, man. Like, he's, top tokens really in pumped up fun. I'd say our most pump. There's Elon, there's Mars, there's all the other stuff, like he did Bitcoin and Hex. And I don't get why he made like PulseX and Bitcoin and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, the less the better. The less the more, I guess, right? I'm holding Cardano as well. But, let me know your thoughts. Either way, I don't really like the pumped up tires as much, because I do feel like they fall under the celebrity category, which is, it only pumps when Richard Hart talks about us or the OA buys it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like it's a really strong community. Nothing will be like Teddy Bear, guys. Honestly, nothing will be like Teddy Bear. Big shout out to Teddy Bear, by the way. Right now, from where we are to all-time high is a 16 or 17. Technically, that's an 18, actually. 18x from where we were. And what's crazy is that if you bought at this point, I think, because we are low was around 2.3 million market cap, that would have been a 50x to all-time high. And now from where we are, which is currently 6.8 million market cap, which is already a steal, is at an 18x. By the way, I just want to also give a big shout out to obviously PulseX holders. Another one, we're going to speak about Treasury Bill in another video with an Atropa update. Big shout out to UFO. Okay, crazy discount. Right, from here back to all-time high is, yes, it's a nice little 7x or 6.8x. But do you remember UFO? I don't think it really went as far as it could have either way in the beginning. And it's one of the best bullish names I've ever seen. We will see. And by the way, it has a lot of liquidity. Look at that, 945,000 in liquidity. So this is very well friendly. So if someone wants to go in with 100k buy, yeah, just use an aggregator like PTS. It will cover you. It'll protect you from sandwich attacks. Keep that slippage low though. And actually, I just remembered, unfortunately, it probably won't work on PTS because of PTS is not the best with reflection tokens, with tax tokens. So use PulseX, have the auto router on, lower that slippage though. Keep it as low as possible. But I believe UFO is on 6% buy and sell tax. So by default, try to put that slippage on 6% first. If it doesn't work, go on 6.5% slippage. If it doesn't, go 7.5, I mean, I don't think you need to go anything more than 7%. So that's the formula, right? Put the slippage at the sell/buy tax percentage, and then go up from there slowly, like go up by half because you want to keep it as efficient as possible. But guys, listen, I'm going to end the video there. I love PulseChain. I've always loved it. Next video is going to be a major update on PDAI, Atropa ecosystem. If you guys want to hear it, stay tuned. Put the notification bell open. It's definitely things are going on, right? Is it benevolence? Is it malevolent? Literally, time will tell, right? The only thing I'm going to leave you guys with is that the system surplus deficit, which I'm going to refresh right here, is now have now hit a huge milestone of 1,092 million PDAI. This is effectively future buy and burn for PDAI. What does that mean? What am I talking about? Stay tuned for the next video. You guys are amazing. Take care. Remember, trust in the process and trust in God. Big shout out to the man above. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.